Hey guys, it's Scott with Scotty B Cards. In this episode, we're going to be talking alternative baseball brands and how you can make some money outside of flagship. On today's episode, I have a guest named Brian. Brian, say hello.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
And Brian, he is a good friend of mine from Instagram. We always have great discussions on essentially topics just like this. And so I thought it would be fun to get him on here, not to do an interview, but essentially to discuss other brands that you can actually look at to make just as much, if not more money, or at least just enjoy the hobby more than just basic Topps flagship. So Brian, before we start, do you want to give just a quick background on who you are and everything there?
Yeah, for sure. So again, my Instagram handle is Rocky Mountain Baseball Cards, and I got back into collecting big time with my brother. He got into baseball cards again. We started when we were kids, took a big long break, and then about 2017 he got in. It took him a year. He pulled me in 2018, and really I've just been focused on baseball cards since. And like Scotty said, one of my biggest passions is just trying to find what's going to become the next big card. Compared to what's already out there. I don't like to follow trends, but I like to figure out what's going to be the next trend, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you predict the trends, and you're really good at it. I will say that. So just to jump into it, the very first product is Bowman's Best. And Bowman's Best is a very unique product. You know, it's been around, like you can see, since 1994. That was the very first year. And it's a good product there, but the last few years, it's kind of just grown and become a different type of product from, basic Topps flagship. Topps flagship, by the way, is Series 1, 2, and Update. But Bowman's Best is nice because it is a later release in the year, which has a bigger checklist, including a majority of the rookies versus just a few. With regular Topps Chrome, you might have some in Update, some in base Chrome, but it takes them all into consideration, and it even has prospects that were just traded and everything else there. So, Brian, why do you think that Bowman's Best is a really good opportunity? Out of curiosity.
Yeah, so and you make a great point. First off, it's got a really nice blend of prospect cards and rookie cards. That's the bulk of the checklist. And some things I love about it is that it's hobby exclusive only. So these cards can't be, pack pulled out of a value pack or a blaster box or a hanger box. You literally have to buy a hobby box in order to acquire the big chase rookies and prospects. So the acquisition cost is really high, which will keep the print run lower in comparison to, like you said, some of the flagship rookie cards, Topps Chrome cards. And historically, there's been some really big cards that have come out of Bowman's Best that has really, kept it in the spotlight, specifically the Kobe Bryant Atomic, the Michael Jordan Atomic from 96 Bowman's Best. Both of those cards are huge. Griffey, Ichiro, Pujols, some really big names with some big cards that I think are just going to continue to push that set forward now and into the future.
A lot of really big basketball players from the 90s have Bowman's Best cards, which only helps the baseball card values. A lot of times when people in other sports get into baseball, it's confusing because there are so many sets, and even baseball collectors, they don't even know what products or sets to buy. We were just discussing before the video, me and Brian, about Ronald Acuna and how he has way too many rookies, and it's super confusing because none of his images match. But people can come into the hobby and say, you know what, the Bowman's Best looks really good. And on top of that, they know Bowman's Best because of the 90s with football and basketball, and it just makes it a nice product. But on top of that, like you said, it is a very low pop, brand. It's really easy to hit refractors. Let's define really easy. It's relatively easy. You'll get a few numbered refractors in each box. And on top of that, you get one atomic per box, and those atomics are sweet. So it's actually a really good bang for your buck. Plus, you get the 4 autos, and it just makes it better. So one example I was thinking of that you always talk about is Jared Kelenic. So you kind of explain how Bowman's Best and Jared Kelenic work together as him as an example.
Yeah, so he came out, his first Bowman's going to be in 2018 Bowman Draft. And he also has, right after that, his only other prospect card from 2018 is going to be Bowman's Best because there's nothing that releases after that can jam him in there. So in my opinion, it's a nice poor man's version of Bowman. If you're looking for an autograph, refractor, some color, whatever, the insert, it's going to hold a lot of value moving forward, especially like right now. If you want to buy Kelenic, because he's getting ready to debut, you either have to spend big top dollar on 2018 Bowman, or the next place you're going to go and look is Bowman's Best. And those autographs have jumped tremendously. And then you can take a step forward, and because he got traded from the Mets to the Mariners, his 2019 Bowman's Best is also a very good bang for your buck because it's one of his first autographs in a Mariners uniform, and it's got that Bowman's Best brand to back it.
Exactly. I think Tatis the same way, where his one of his first Padres uniforms was in Bowman's Best?
Yep. I think his first Padre is also 2018 Bowman's Best, and that card as well carries a pretty big premium considering he was.
That's a pre-rookie, obviously, but still carries that premium. And it's nice. You can follow that pattern essentially with other players. And now that it's predictable, that's the main thing you talk about is predicting the patterns. People can make money on that now. And for me, I like to pride myself as more of a collector than an investor, and that's fine. Of course, I want my cards to go up so I can buy other cards. So I do some investing, quote unquote. But this is a good product to look at simply because if you can get the first of a specific player's uniform or the first auto, even if it's non-rookie, it can have really good value. Right when they
agreed 100%. Yep.
Is there anything you want to hit besides what we talked about, or is that essentially it?
I do want to kind of just stress how awesome the Atomic is. You kind of talked about it, but the rarity factor of that card, you only get one per mini box. So you get two total per, like the hobby box, they come in the 2 mini boxes. So you only get 2. And like you said, so it's 2 out of 100 player checklist plus every insert and autograph. So that's how difficult the odds of pack pulling an Atomic Bowman's Best card is. It's like 2 out of over 200. So you got to buy a ton of boxes if you want to hit your player's Bowman's Best Atomic card.
And on this slide I'm showing right now, you can kind of see the evolution of the Atomic. I have a Jordan Atomic, a Kobe, a Steve Nash, Vince Carter, but you see over here the Juan Soto and the Tatis. They look good. They're essentially the cracked eyes from Panini.
Yep.
They look awesome. And actually, I have one in my hands right now, but this is the Juan Soto. I don't know if it's reflecting because of the lights in front of it, but it's the Atomic Auto out of 25. So all of the Atomic Autos are out of 25. They're really short printed, but they just look awesome. And
yeah, dude, that's a money card. That insert.
That's the best performers. And I think the 2018, there's a trout.
That's such a great looking card.
It's my favorite insert set out there right now. I think they look awesome.
Yep.
But as you can see from the slide, though, just the fact they look really nice for collectors, that will hold long-term collectability. That's hitting really big in the basketball market. People are buying the Kabooms and the Color Blasts and all sorts of stuff for basketball and football. And that will come to baseball eventually. And Bowman's Best, I think, is the best visually looking product.
Yep.
So that brings us to our next one. So that was Bowman's Best. The next one that we have is Bowman Chrome. So why do you think, Brian, Bowman Chrome is a good opportunity?
So, and again, there's this evolving situation with Topps where, like, as we've talked many times personally, in 18, we have this massive increase of print run with all cards from flagship to Chrome, and one of the biggest things that makes a card valuable is always going to be rarity.
Mm-hmm.
And again, just like Bowman's Best, Bowman Chrome up until this year with the release of the Mega Box has been, again, hobby exclusive only. And it's had 2 formats, the HTA and the hobby. HTA is just 5 autographs. So you're not pulling any, rookie base cards out of those. So the only way you're going to get a Bowman Chrome rookie base card is you have to buy, a premier hobby box that's going to cost you between, right now, $170 to over, $250. So the acquisition price for the card is really high, which it's going to keep the print run down. And historically, I probably would have laughed at this a year or two ago, but, things change and they're always changing. And if you look at my biggest factor was seeing how much the Tatis Bowman Chrome jumped during his kind of phenom breakout last year. It hit almost 300, which was, competing with his Topps Chrome. So then I went to look what the Trout was doing, and I was pretty much shocked to see that card was over $4,000.
Yeah.
The 2011 Bowman Chrome 170, not the Bowman Chrome draft, just the Bowman Chrome 175. A year ago, I looked at the historical data. That card was only selling for like $800 in 2019. And between July of 2019 and last July, it jumped to $4,000 or $5,000.
Yeah. And those Bowman Chromes, like the thing that's nice about Bowman Chrome versus flagship as well, not only is it a really small print run, is I know Chrome usually grades well, but they're pretty tough to grade, surprisingly, in comparison to other like Topps Chrome cards.
Yes.
Put the premium on the 10s. I actually bought in probably 2018, one of my very first big card purchases before I kind of got into buying some bigger stuff was a Mike Trout 2011 Bowman Chrome Refractor, 175.
You got a refractor. That's a
Yeah.
big boy card right there.
Yeah, it was a BGS 9 at the time, and I decided to crack it out and just kind of wipe the surface down and sent it back in, and it pulled a 9.5. So now it's, it's a quite a valuable card, but that just shows kind of like the appreciation of Bowman Chrome. It's gone way up. And as you can see on this screen, I have a Tatis Bowman Chrome to show what they look like. It actually looks better than his base card.
I think so. And
yeah.
I got a blue, dude. That was probably one of my best purchases.
Awesome. Are you showing it right now? I can't tell.
I'm showing it on my little feed here.
Cool.
But again, the pop on this is 11.
11.
So it's got a 33% gem rate on the blue, like you said. And a big part of that is the borders, guys, because on Bowman Chrome, they always throw some kind of border, which really can throw off the centering. But yeah, that's probably one of them. And I got that card for $475.
That's awesome.
Dude, that's one of my favorites right there. That's probably my top 3 Tatis cards.
And so I kind of wanted to just talk about, but one thing on Bowman before we move ahead is the very first bullet point I made is Bowman is a very historic brand. It came out before Topps. There's 1948 Bowman. There's like a Stan Musial rookie. That's Leaf, forgive me. But no, there's a Bowman Stan Musial rookie. It's black and white. The Leaf is the color version, but Bowman has been around, and they had a really big challenge with Topps in the first few years. And that's what some of the best looking sets are Bowman, in my opinion, from the early 50s. And then basically the government gave Topps the monopoly at the time. And then later in life, Topps acquired Bowman, and that's where Bowman Chrome comes from. So they do have value. And one thing I think people are realizing as well is Bowman Chrome first prospect cards worth a lot of money. So why wouldn't Bowman Chrome rookie cards be worth a lot of money? And I think that's kind of driving it slightly as well.
So yeah, those are really good points, which, like you said, just really play to the future of where Bowman Chrome rookie cards could go or be. Yeah.
And right now I do have, Ryan, the price comparisons up. And you can see these all sold either within 24 hours of each other or really close. The Mike Trout Bowman Chrome PSA 10 on March 5th. Those are the last time those sold. That's why I pulled that and not a sooner time frame. In comparison to the update PSA 10s, Bowman Chromes are selling for more. And they should be, because I think the pop is around, just a couple hundred.
400, dude.
Is
only
400?
440. Yeah, it's like 440.
Way lower, just about a 10th. And so that's going to drive the price up by itself. And here's even the Tatis comparison. The Series 2 are going for 300 to 320, and the Bowman Chromes are going for 345 to 400. So it just shows that people are starting to notice this. And I think we're early enough now. If you're still investing, you can get out and get ahead of this curve and make sure you get some more valuable cards.
And in a place where I really think you can too, Scotty, is in the refractors. I know you got to spend more money, but in many cases, you can buy a Bowman Chrome number. Again, these refractors now are numbered out of $499, and you can buy them for like 1.5 times the base. In some of these, like I just bought an Ohtani for $380.
That's awesome.
His Bowman Chrome refractor, and his base is selling for like almost $200. So there's some just really good gaps there that you can capitalize on as well.
Yeah, and we'll jump into that. Not the refractor comparison, but let's look at actual growth of the cards over the last little bit. And right here you can see this is the Tatis Topps Chrome Gem Mint 10. You can see it's gone up from 172.50 to 436.83. There's the base. But if we go to the Bowman Chrome, that went up 261%. So from 108 to 380, and that, like we already showed in the last slide, has gone up even more to that 405. So it's just kind of proving that the scarcity of them is going to make them more valuable.
And I love how you hit on that rate of growth, because that's huge. 153 to 260. The Bowman Chrome is, that's 100% higher.
Yeah, big difference. And I don't think that, I know they're getting close in price now, so I think that will slow it down a tiny bit, simply because people will say that it shouldn't be worth that much. But I don't think that's a long-term thing. I think that's just a short-term thing. So I think
agreed.
Growth will go up just because of pop reports. It only makes sense. And then I have one more example. Here's a Juan Soto. Juan Soto, I think his PSA 10 Chrome update right now, that has what? This is the Bowman's Best. Sorry, this is Bowman's Best, not Bowman Chrome, but this is the Bowman's Best example. But still, his PSA 10 update Chrome, that has what, like 8,000 PSA 10s and counting daily, essentially. And then here's his Bowman's Best from 94% growth to 118% growth. This is the refractor, but they're probably the exact same price, I'm assuming. And the pop report is just way lower. So I just think there are better buying opportunities out there than what's like the mainstream approach of just picking up base cards. Base cards are cool. When I say base, I mean flagship in comparison to base Bowman Chrome. And they're cool and all, but those will be iconic. But overall, if you're going to be 30, 40 years down the road and you want to have a long-term hold, I think you're going to target collectors. They'll have so many base rookies of a player. But if you have that scarce Bowman Chrome or Bowman's Best refractor, that's what's really they're going to pay a premium for.
Yeah, I agree. And I just think another big factor is just risk. You're paying less money to get in on a quality player with potentially the same upside. So the risk is just so much less when you're targeting, like this card, the refractor's 305.
Wow.
The Chrome update's 500. You're paying $200 less to get in on this card. So it's less risk as well.
Do you know the pop of the refractor off the top of your head of Soto?
Off the top of my head, it's I want to say it's below 700. I want to say it's like 650 or so.
And compare that to 8,000.
Right.
It's pretty crazy. So that's all we wanted to do, guys. We just wanted to show you a few cards and a few brands we thought were underappreciated, but are moving, and we want to make sure you know about them because a lot of people who are new in the hobby, they get pushed one direction. And it's very like, do this. But just know, like, have fun. Buy the cards you think are pretty. Buy the cards that you think are awesome. And that's kind of what we'll appreciate. But on top of that, buy the cards that are scarce. That's like my most important advice. Scarcity will matter. Iconic is important, but scarcity is as well.
Agree. Good stuff, man.
Okay, well, guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Go give Brian a follow on Instagram. He's a great follow. He provides stuff like this all the time on his story and in his own posts. So he's a good guy to follow, and appreciate your time, guys, and we'll catch you next episode.